Tonight on CTV News, we have full coverage of the Women's March on Denver, and we will take a peek into the National Western Stock Show and how CSU students are transforming the importance of the agricultural program.
We also have an inside look into the Fort Collins Foodie Walk this year and your Rams sports wrap-up for the week. All this and more on CTV News starting now. Good evening, CSU Rams. I'm Sydney Paul.
And I'm Kira Coles. Let's dive into everything in the world of news. A school shooting broke out this morning at 8 a.m. at Marshall County High School in Benton, Kentucky. At least 2 students were killed and 17 other people were injured. The suspect, a 15-year-old student at the school, was taken into custody in a nonviolent apprehension, according to Governor Matt Bevin. The student, who was not immediately identified, entered the school with a handgun, according to the Commissioner of the Kentucky State Police. The student will be charged with murder and attempted murder. Sadly, officials say a 15-year-old girl died at the school and a 15-year-old boy died later in the hospital.
Last Saturday was the one-year anniversary of the Women's March in Denver. Thousands gathered at Civic Center Park to support the campaign on equal rights for women. The march included a variety of voices sharing their stories, and CTV reporter Christina Lane has more.
This year what we did is we amassed a steering committee. We wanted to recognize the work that a lot of women in the greater Denver area and all over Colorado have been doing for activism for decades. So we amassed a steering committee to kind of represent a wide range of voices and individuals.
Well, I just want to be here with everyone who's supporting, women's rights and, good political movements, because everything we're marching for today is really important. And I think it's important for everyone to get involved.
I came here today to represent, to fight like a girl, and that girls are very powerful.
Tell you again.
I think last year everyone was just really, really angry and had a lot of energy that they didn't know how to channel it. And this year we have a lot of people who became involved, they became more educated, or they got to know who their representatives were. People testified in the House, they called their senators, they know who their local representatives are. And I think time's up because we know better now. Time's up, we're watching you, we're paying attention, and we're going to vote in 2018.
The coordinators of the march hope to encourage women to vote in the upcoming elections and to continue campaigning. For more information about the Women's March, visit collegian.com.
According to the National Institute on Drug Abuse, more than 64,000 Americans died in 2016 from opioid overdose alone, and ASCSU is trying to do something about it. ASCSU Speaker of the Senate, Isabel Brown, has partnered with Students for Opioid Solutions, a nonprofit that works with student government associations across the country. The nonprofit serves as a campus captain to draft a resolution intended to prevent opioid overdoses on campuses. The resolution requires administrators and campus police officers to receive training in recognizing an overdose, and more specifically, the use of Narcan anaxolone prescription medicine that blocks the effects of opioids and reverses an overdose. Legislation will be voted on regarding a 5-part process intended to prevent overdoses and change the narrative surrounding opioids on campus. This legislation is scheduled to come to ASCSU Senate on January 24th to be voted on.
Students from CSU's College of Agriculture spent their time at the National Western Stock Show in Denver, teaching kids about the importance of ag programs. Each year, the university sponsors an interactive exhibit called Ag Adventure, which teaches children about where their food comes from. The program is also focused on agriculture's relevance in the state of Colorado.
As time goes on, people get a lot more disconnected from the farm, and so as kids come through, they get to learn a lot about what's grown in Colorado, what they eat, and how we do a lot of it, which is great for both parents and kids.
According to the College of Ag, upwards of 70,000 people were exposed to CSU's programs and to learning about the key role that Colorado plays in agricultural production.
In Trump's first year of office, many topics such as DACA, immigration, and health care were addressed. I reached out to the CSU community to gauge how they think Trump has done since he has been elected. So a couple days ago, President Trump just wrapped up his first year in office. In that time frame, we've seen a lot of division within the country. A lot of people are for him, and then there's a lot of people who are very against the actions that he's made. So I was just wondering where you stand on the issue, as well as what you expect in the future.
Personally, I don't stand with him. I think he's tearing people apart, and he's tearing families apart, and I don't think that's right.
I gotta say that I am not a supporter of Trump at all, and this past year definitely has been very, I guess, demoralizing, saddening in a lot of ways, kind of hurtful just like on a soul level, but I'm looking forward to the future because I think there's going to be a lot of backlash and a lot of more movement towards progressive ideas in 2018.
I'm not happy with what he's been doing. I don't think he's making a positive move for our future, whether it's environment policies, immigration, matters like that. He's kind of leaving a negative impact on our society.
Policy making ideas really just aren't ideal for anyone. And I think that it'll only get worse from here. You know, I think last year was just kind of a sneak peek of what is yet to come. If he, continues to pursue bad policies and continues to, say bad things, I think that we'll only see negative results.
I think there's just so much division with him being in office that we're still really far away from ever having that equality.
And in the end, this is not what America is about. Yeah. This is a home for everybody. We welcome everybody, and he's not letting us do that. Or he's not showing that to the rest of the world. We're welcoming everybody. We're supposed to be, and that's not what we're doing.
As of today, 36.9% of the population approve of Trump's administration thus far, while 57.2% disapprove of it.
Bassetti's Italian restaurant, a staple of the Fort Collins food scene, is closing its doors after 39 years on January 31st. Bassetti's has been a favorite of many Fort Collins residents since it opened its doors in 1979. While the owners, Robert and Heather Bassetti, are saddened by the restaurant's closing, they hope that it leaves behind a legacy that Fort Collins residents will never forget.
A simple restaurant. We were never cutting edge, but we were always good and consistent. And I think the consistent portion of Bassetti's is what people came to rely on.
The restaurant has been filled with customers eager to enjoy their favorite meals one last time. If you plan to eat at Bassetti's prior to January 31st, make sure to get a reservation as meal times are filling up fast.
As of today, CSU has officially launched the website firstamendment.colostate.edu, which is dedicated to informing students about the First Amendment and free speech in higher education, that also offers resources and information for those navigating these complex issues. It has been launched before February intentionally to reiterate the university's expectations around public events. Next month, CSU will be hosting a variety of speakers during then that are supported by various organizations on campus. In an email sent out earlier today by Rick Miranda, the Executive Vice President, and Blanche Hughes, the Vice President of Student Affairs, it states that it's important to remember that embracing free speech is a core value, and our principles of community declare that the university is committed to freedom of expression, critical discourse, and the advancement of knowledge. In addition, the website states that disrupting a speaker or an event is not protected by the First Amendment. CSU administration hopes that this website will create opportunity for engagement and conversations with students and other members of the university about the challenges and responsibilities of exercising and protecting First Amendment rights. For more information about this, visit the link below for CSU's full free speech and peaceful assembly policy.
That wraps up your news rundown for this Tuesday, but up next we have Edgar Cedillo with the weather and local storm updates.
Don't go anywhere, you won't want to miss it.